Today we are going to give some baby back ribs a little bit of a different rub, and then we're going to pair it with an amazing sauce out on the Weber kettle. Now this rub is a little different, but I've done similar rubs before. It uses fruit. Now when you're using fruit in a dry rub, not a barbecue sauce, it needs to be dry. Dehydrated will not do it. You need freeze dried. Today I'm using about 1.7 ounces of freeze dried mango. Now 1.7 ounces is just what this bag has in it. You could use 1.5 ounces, 2 ounces, it's all gonna work fine. But I do need to break this down first, grind it up, and I'm using my little spice grinder here. You could also just throw it in a blender and pulverize it down. It doesn't have to be a fine powder. It can be just tiny little chunks because a lot of those are just gonna dissolve once they get on the surface of the ribs and start cooking. I'm gonna have to do several little batches here so I don't overload my spice grinder. And we pulverize. Now it can create a very fine powder, so when you take this lid off, it can create a little bit of a cloud. And as I finish each little batch here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add it to a container that already has a cup of brown sugar in it. Then I keep on pulverizing. See, if you get any big chunks like that, just throw it back in. Little chunks aren't a problem. Now the next ingredient for our rub is 1/2 tablespoon of kosher salt, 1/2 tablespoon of a coarsely ground black pepper, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, and 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I'm gonna give this a quick little mix with a fork before we shake it. So again, you could just throw this all in a blender too. Let's give this a shake. Just like that. Let's get our ribs out here. So I have a rack of baby back ribs here. The membrane is still on the back. I'm not going to remove it today. Let's go ahead and start getting this seasoned up. I'm not going to worry too much about this backside here, but you can see these little chunks. When these land on the meat side and that starts smoking, they're going to dissolve. It's going to be great. Do I always make too much rub for what I'm smoking? Yeah, I do. I want a nice heavy coating on this. Yeah, this is a sweet rub. I know a lot of people don't like sweet rubs, but that's what this one is. Looking good to me. Let's get this out to the Weber kettle. All right, the Weber kettle is up to temp. My target today is 250 degrees. I have water in a pan under the Mallory M1 cast iron grate. I'm using the firewall today. And after we get our ribs on, we're gonna add some hickory chunks. So let's get these ribs going. Chunk of hickory over here, and one over here for a little later. All right, we're gonna get the lid on, let these get smoking, and we'll come back in about an hour, probably spritz them. Sort of a warm, dry day today. You know, we've got water in there, but I wanna keep a check on the moisture on these ribs. We're probably gonna be wrapping them somewhere around 2 hours, but it'll just depend on how they're looking. See you back here in about an hour. All right, we are at the 1 hour mark. Temp's been holding really steady right around 250. Let's go ahead and check our ribs. Looking really good. Great smell. You got a combination of hickory and mango here. That aroma is fantastic. Looks like we still have good moisture, but I'm gonna give a light spritz. Knock our wood chunk over here a bit. Gonna get the lid on, let these keep smoking, and we'll come back in an hour and check them again. See you back here in a little bit. We are at the 2-hour mark. Let's take a look at our ribs and decide if it's time to sauce them and wrap them. They're looking mighty gorgeous. Just starting to see a little pullback from the bones here, not a lot. I'm just gonna do a probe test between the bones here. See how the meat's feeling. That's feeling pretty good. So we are gonna go ahead and sauce these and wrap them. I'm gonna give a little spritz of our plain water here on our foil. The sauce I'm going to be using today is this key lime barbecue sauce from Pepper Palace. Give a gentle brush here. And we're double wrapping these today. Gonna get our lid back on. And we're gonna come back in 1 hour. We will unwrap them then, maybe put them back on for about 20 minutes with a little more sauce. We'll kind of play it by ear and see. All right, we have been in the foil for 1 hour, so we are at a total of 3 hours on these baby backs. Let's open up the foil, see how they look. Oh, those look pretty darn good. We've got nice pullback on those bones there. Just from the feel of this, I can tell they're done. So let's get them inside and have a taste. Well, here are our baby backs. They look exactly like I wanted them to look. And I'm really curious to see what the flavor combination is like with that mango rub and the key lime barbecue sauce. So let's cut some ribs. Let's see, I'm gonna try and cut without turning it over. Yeah, I got lucky. Let's pull one out of the middle here. Let's go for a taste. Okay, before the flavor, exactly how I like my ribs. Bite away from the bone, not fall apart. If you want them fall apart, you could actually just put them back on the grill for maybe another 30 minutes after the foil, or go longer in foil, but this is how I like mine. Now that flavor is incredible. It's tropical with a little bit of a bite from that key lime, and man, that's delicious. Mango is one of my favorite fruits, and to be able to use it in a rub, which I've done before, I think I did an actual video years ago on how to use fruit in rubs by using freeze-dried fruit. That is a game changer when you're trying to bring that flavor in multiple ways. Mango is easy to get into a barbecue sauce. You could just puree some mango, but to get it in a rub or any other fruit you like, getting it freeze-dried, that's the way to go.